Hello, my name is Will, and I'm with Bluebird Consultants. Today I'd like to discuss architecture in Smartsheet. Smartsheet is really powerful in that you can build all types of different solutions for many types of use cases. But I find that a lot of customers, when we start to work with them, show that they don't really understand how to build solutions well. They don't build them in proper ways, and a lot of the types of assets they built are not really easy to duplicate. So I want to talk today about some of the great ways that you can build in Smartsheet to just make your solution so much more effective and maintainable down the line. So the first thing I want to explain is how duplication works in Smartsheet. We use duplication a lot because we're able to build a set of assets and then duplicate them and connect them. So for example, I could set up multiple sheets. So maybe I have a project and it has a project plan. Then the other sheet is a budget, and I want to bring that data to, we call it a metric sheet, which is a sheet that's calculating the information. Perhaps it's calculating tasks from the plan, and perhaps it's calculating like sums from the budget. So we call that a metric sheet. You could have calculations and all types of different names. And we say, okay, I'm going to build a dashboard on it. And that dashboard is going to show the totals, and then perhaps maybe specific lines from the plan, specific items from the budget as well. And what we're going to do is we put all that into a folder like this. So after we've built all the assets, and you can do this up to 100 items in Smartsheet, you could then kind of wrap it up together in a folder or a workspace. And you can see all these connections I made, basically they're selling. So I've maybe in the metric sheet done a cross-sheet reference to the plan. I've done a cross-sheet reference to the budget. And all these items are interconnected. Maybe my dashboard is looking at totals from the sheet summary or even just from the sheet itself. They're all connected. And the nice thing is that if I want to take this and duplicate it, I can be confident that this entire solution has been retained as it stands. And that's an extremely powerful tool in Smartsheet because we leverage that a lot. We find that you can build a really good template and then you can duplicate it, not just to make multiple projects, but you could also create a structure much more powerful. So let's say that you want to make a very powerful sheet that could work with other sheets to calculate a huge set of data that you're working with. You could use a process like this to kind of interconnect those sheets, then duplicate them, then connect them to each other. So there's no reason why after you then duplicate them that you could have them set up to leverage each other. I could go into many examples where customers have found this useful because at the end of the day, these sheets are like little processors. They can calculate things, they can take data and crunch it together and optimize it for your viewing or for even more data transformation down the line. But we find that duplication is so powerful. The only caveat is that you need to know that when you set up a form and you have a special form link, that is not going to get duplicated with that. So if I were to have like a form to submit to this plan and I were to have that separate, that is not going to get duplicated. So maybe I would have it like this and would go into this plan. When it gets duplicated, unfortunately, though the sheet would have a new form, that link would stay with what it's at. So, so you'd have to make sure that you're always bearing in mind any types of forms that you make. And also, if you were to set this up to maybe have a row copy or row move, if the destination is inside this folder, you need to make sure that it's rehooked up because it could get stuck to the original. Smartsheet does not copy the forms and does not copy the row copy and row automations. In that you'd have to kind of readdress those every time. But besides that, cell links and all the cross-sheet formulas you'd use are going to be duplicated with it. Thank you very much.